That day, yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet. Damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go to work, cause my boss is a jerk, and I'm not even that paid. I need a change in my life, cause I don't feel alive, and there's nothing that makes me happy.
Check.
Hold my beer for a minute. I'm about to quit my job, cash in for a ticket. I'm going on a trip, and I don't plan to visit. I'm gonna stay there till I feel like I'm winning. And this is just the beginning. I need a big change, help me feel like living. I need a big swing, home runs I'm hitting.
Mic
and I'll
check,
never
1,
look
2.
back, moving on till I get it all.
We good?
And we all got dreams, we all want things. But what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? And do you believe we can do
And now, Mike's thoughts. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages. Sometimes in this weird NFL lull that we're in, there's a lot of shit talking that goes on. There's a lot of predictions. There's a little bit of this, and there's a lot of hatred towards your rival's team. I love it. I respect it. Get some more of it. However, when we are having a civilized conversation, when we are talking about your team or a team in general, and when I say, hey, how does this person make said team better? Don't just be like, look at the numbers. They're a top type business. He clearly makes them better. No. Answer me the question. How does Myles Garrett make teams around him better? Many people believe the 28 sacks. The Browns were a top 5 defense. Whatever. Cool. I get it. But answer the question. How did Myles Garrett make the Cleveland Browns better last season? That is the question that I want to ask you guys tonight. Picks and Punters, Man Hour Nation, Huddle Sports Network, Big X Sports Radio. How did Myles Garrett make the Cleveland Browns better last season? I'm going to tell you he didn't. Now, the last 3 or 4 games of the season, he did make them better because he was chasing that sack record, and he was like, you're not going to get it against us. So they're double and triple teaming him. Then the rest of the boys ate, right? But the truth of the matter is Myles Garrett is a great player, but does not make any of those around him better. The Rams are a 500 team this season. I said it again. We'll do our official win-loss predictions for the NFL season coming up soon. But until then, guys, cue that intro. Are you ready for the best damn NFL show on the planet? Man Hour Nation. Rise up.
Yeah, hey, let's go. Hitting that gridiron, we going hard, we running the plays. You know the vibe, only the strong survive. Gotta keep your head in the game. Talking NFL, uncut, straight raw, steady bringing that sauce. We about to take off, get it hype. This man, our sport talk. Yeah, from the quarterback to the lineman, everybody bringing heat. You don't really want to try them. Hey, who gon' win? It's a battle of the giants. This show is the flyest. Nobody can deny it. This is Man Hour. Sport Talk. Man Hour. Sport Talk. What team you reppin'? We keep it interesting. Who caught another down? Who got that interception? This is Man Hour. Sport Talk. Man Hour. Sport Talk. What team you reppin'? We keep it interesting. Who caught another down? Who got that interception?
Let's go. What is up, Man Hour Nation, guys? Welcome to Man Hour NFL Talk, your go-to spot for live, raw, uncut NFL talk. I'm so glad you guys rolled this again. Guys, before we jump into today's action, make sure you hit the like button, jump with a couple friends, and subscribe so you never miss a live interactive show. Guys, we're on our way to 10,000 subs over here at youtube.com/Man Hour. So, guys, join the movement today. And that is the easiest way to stay plugged in with everything that's happening with the Man Hour show. But if you want the full Man Hour experience, guys, become a Picks and Punt It. That is our members-only community. Get free entry with weekly NFL pick'ems, giveaways, exclusive merchandise, and bonus live stream on the Picks and Punters get. So if you're all about that next level access, guys, join the squad today. Remember, this is a live interactive show, so drop your thoughts, your opinions, and your hottest of the hottest takes in the comments down below, because I want to hear from you. I want to hear from you, Mr. Old Man River. He says, what up, Man Hour? What is up, Mr. John Peebles? That we say, hey, what's up, brother, right? What's up, John Peebles? John Peebles. Guys, John Peebles is a part of the Picks and Punters. He is the CEO of the Pigskin Pundits, one of the founding members. Guys, be like John Peoples and head over to youtube.com/man-hour. Hit on the membership tab, 99 cents a month. Get a chance to win those dollar bills, y'all. Win those dollar bills, yo. We got Go Pack Go again in the chat today. What's up, Go Pack Go? He says the man of the hour. Nah, I got not the man of the hour. You guys are the men of the hour. Men as in a general women, man type of male, female type of thing. Thank you guys for tuning in today. Thank you guys for tuning in. And John People says Myles Garrett made the Cleveland Browns better because he was double teamed, which freed up someone else to make plays. John Peoples, let's go ahead and Google that. Let's go ahead and Google that. Myles Garrett double team rate in 2025. Myles Garrett double team rate in 2025 was at 56.5% on pass rushes, ranking near the very top of all edge defenders in extra attention faced. However, even though he was one of the highest double teamed defensive ends in the rush rush game, he missed 47% of his tackles. That's tough. Micah Parsons was the highest double team player last season at nearly 60% last season. So, John Peoples, you are correct. He was double teamed a lot on passing down situations. But if you go back and watch the tape, a lot of those double teams that they are referring to, is a chip by the tight end or a chip by the guard. It was never like a really true double team. So but you are correct. Being double teamed does help somebody like those young linebackers. Why is his name slipping my mind right now? The one, the defensive rookie of the year, begins with an S. I can't remember. But I don't want to go too deep into Myles Garrett talk tonight, but you know what? It is what it is, because you know what? I say stuff and I need to back those up with those opinions with some factual statements. Also, I wore my Wildcats hat tonight for Steve because apparently since I graduated from Kansas State University, I do not know nothing about football. So I just want to make sure that you guys know that I am a Wildcat at heart. But you know who else is a Wildcat at heart? You know who else is heading to a NFL team? You know, a team, a player that is got a heart of a lion and is going to make some noise in the nation capitals, guys, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. That is Mr. Stefon Diggs. Stefon Diggs is heading to Washington. Stefon Diggs just signed with the Washington Commanders. And guys, I am here to put a flag on this mountain and say that the Washington Commanders just got a hell of a lot more dangerous with Stefon Diggs on this roster. But this is not because Stefon Diggs is still one of the best 5 receivers in the NFL. And it's not because he's coming to Washington to replace Scary Terry as the number one receiver. This is huge because the Commanders have finally added something to the receiver core that they desperately needed. Simple fact of the matter is, guys, Stefon Diggs brings proof to this wide receiver room. Because when you look at the Washington Commanders team outside of Scary Terry, that entire Washington receiver room was built on potential, expectations, and quite frankly, crossed fingers. Because when you think about it, maybe Antonio Williams develops quickly. Maybe Luke McCaffrey takes that next step. Maybe Treylon Burks stays healthy and can finally become the player that everybody thought he was going to be in Nashville. Maybe De'Ami Brown becomes more consistent. It was a hell of a lot of potential, and there's a whole lot of more maybe sitting behind Terry McLaurin than actual productions. And Stefon Diggs, guys, he is not a maybe. Stefon Diggs just caught 85 passes for 1,013 yards last season. That is not something he did 5 years ago. He did that last season at 32 years old after recovering from a torn ACL. Now, Diggs walked into New England and proved that he can still play football at a very, very high level. Now, he does walk into Washington as a clear number 2 receiver. And I think this role fits him perfect. The Commanders do not need Stephon Diggs to catch 120 passes this season. They do not need him to be the Buffalo Stephon Diggs. They do not need him to be dominating every press coverage and demanding 15 targets and acting like the entire passing game. It has to run through him. They need him to line up opposite of Scary Terry, get open and move the change, and punish the defense for focusing too much on Scary Terry. This is where the signing changes the Commanders' offense. Last season, defenses knew where Washington wanted to go with the ball. Simply put, stop Terry McLaurin. Force one of those other receivers to beat you. Not now. What are you going to do? Are you going to roll the safeties towards Terry? Fine. Stephon Diggs gets single coverage and you're going to double Stephon Diggs underneath? Fine. Terry is going to get down the field and be open. Are you going to play soft coverage and keep everything in front of you? Fine. Jane Daniels will take the easy completion all game long and move the offense right down the field. What he did a rookie season. Stephon Diggs does not give Washington another receiver. It gives them options on offense. He gives Jaden Daniels a veteran who understands the leverage, coverage, and how to find open spaces when plays break down. That matters for young quarterbacks. Diggs has played with quarterbacks like Kirk Cousins, Josh Allen, CJ Stroud, and Drake May. Some will say that all those are top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL. He has been a part of different systems. He has played on rebuilding teams. He has played on contenders. He has dealt with the pressure of being the number one receiver. And he has also dealt with playoff expectations. And last season, he did play in the Super Bowl. That experience cannot be manufactured during training camp. Washington had young receivers who could talk about where they wanted to go. Stephon Diggs can talk about what he actually takes to get there. He knows what playoff football feels like. He knows how quickly a season can disappear. He knows how important the details become in December and in January. That gives the Commanders a veteran leader who can look around the locker room and say, I have been there. This is what it takes, and I want to get back. And let's not ignore the hometown part of all this. Stephon Diggs grew up in Maryland. He played football at Maryland. Now he wants to come home and play in front of the same area that watched him become a star. That's going to mean something. This is not Stephon Diggs driving for one final paycheck for some random team before retirement. There is a connection here. There is motivation here. There's unfinished business here. He has been to the Super Bowl, but now he wants to win one. Washington gives him that opportunity to come home, play alongside another proven receiver, and help a young quarterback chase something special. And the best part, the Commanders, they're not asking Stephon Diggs to stay the franchise. Terry McLaurin is still the guy. Jaden Daniels is still the face of the offense. Diggs gets to be the veteran number 2 receiver and just get yards and get those $1 bills, yo. How does not having too many and he doesn't have to carry the entire passing game. He doesn't have to beat double coverage every single Sunday. He doesn't have to produce 1,500 yards for this signing to work. Give Washington 75 catches, somewhere around 900 to 1,000 yards, meaning Stephon Diggs. Reliable production on third down, and this is a home run. This is the type of production that forces defense to respect both sides of the field. Keep Terry McLaurin from being suffocated by coverage, and it gives Washington's young receivers more time to develop instead of forcing them into roles they have not been ready to handle. But most importantly, it gives Jaden Daniels another receiver he can trust when the game is on the line. But Man Our Nation, let me ask you this question. Did this signing by Stephon Diggs move the needle for the Washington Commanders? Are they now the front runners in the NFC East? Or is there too much drama, too much off-the-field issues with Stephon Diggs? Guys, let me know down in the comments and discuss your thoughts. And John says, yeah. And the locker room cancer. John, you love the term locker room cancer. You are a pigskin pundit.
Pigskin pun. Get you some.
You absolutely love the term locker room cancer. Stephon Diggs does have issues off the field. Stephon Diggs does have problem drugging and raping men off the field. Stephon Diggs does have problem strangling his chef off the field. Stephon Diggs does have problems bringing 2 baby mamas to the Super Bowl, which that could be on the field, but it's off the field issues. Can you name me one time in Minnesota or in Buffalo or in Houston or in New England where Stephon Diggs had on the field issues? There was a physical disagreement with somebody. I'm talking like A.J. Brown screaming at Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni saying, give me the ball, or reading a book. Honestly, I think Stephon Diggs is a model citizen on the football field. Off the football field is a totally different story. Get that man some help. Get that man a fall guy. I don't know, but how is he a cancer? And Go Pack Go says the same thing, but he also brings the drama. Off the field drama, yes. 100% factual statement. Off the field drama. However, Go Pack Go all day long. During the regular season, have we heard any of this drama? Because the whole chef thing happened in December, right? Second week of December or something. All that kind of got swept under the rug till after the Super Bowl. He has a great PR team of keeping things hush hush till after the season. But like, what drama are we doing to? Drew's in the chat. What's up, Drew? Long time no see. He says, howdy, Buck. What's up, man? What's up? Who's that? This is Michael Underwood. Says, great player. He has the best stats last season in every aspect. Only dropped 2 passes. Super Bowl champion. Michael Underwood, are you saying that the Washington Commanders with this signing are now Super Bowl favorites in the NFC? If you are saying that, I'm going to have to say slow it down, baby. As I do love this signing of Stephon Diggs to the Washington Commanders. Matter of fact, I was hoping that he would go to the Kansas City Chiefs. My Kansas City Chiefs. I was really hoping that was going to happen. But you have a nice 1-2 punch in Washington with Stephon Diggs and Scary Terry. My issue in Washington, honestly, is the quarterback play. Because you do have a new offensive coordinator, David Blount, right? That said that he wants to give Terry McLaurin at least 15 chances to catch the ball a game. To me, that kind of sounds like forcing the ball a little bit. Now, is he going to back off those statements since Stephon Diggs is now on the field and like now ready to like do his thing? But Super Bowl champion for the Washington Commanders is tough. That is a very, very tough statement because you still have the Eagles in the NFC. You still have the Packers. You still have the Cowboys. You still have the 49ers. Some say the Rams. Not me. The NFC is very, very top heavy this season. John P. was picked some punting.
Big skin pun. Get you some.
How's Washington offensive line? It moves the chains, but if he keeps his nose clean, could be something in. If nope, same old song. The same old song and dance, as I think that's what you're trying to like say. I mean, obviously, Jaden Daniels got hurt last season because of subparish offensive line play and also the play calling, right? Cliff Kingsbury was of that offensive line, and then we can revisit this, Old Man River and Michael Underwood and the rest of the Man Hour Nation. Michael Underwood says this front office will never bring drama to their culture, period. Who is their owner again? It's the basketball player, right? Is it Magic Johnson? And I mean, obviously he is the big name to the Commanders franchise, but who is this owner group? Because Magic Johnson has drama too, right? The whole HIV or AIDS thing and sleeping with all these girls and all that other stuff. Like, if you want to talk about drama, that's kind of drama too, right? But you are correct. Ever since the new ownership, ever since Daniel Snyder has been forced to sell the team, the ownership has been kind of playing Wizard of Oz puppet master per se. Like I think. Yenzer says Diggs also brings blows and hookers. to off the field stuff, not on the field, not on the field, but off the field. Rob's in the chat says, "What's up, sir?" And he's also says, "Stop it, baby. He's a slow down, baby." Stephon Diggs is washed. Robert, you are a Green Bay Packers fan. I respect that. Go Pack, go, baby, right? Put the cheese on your head and let's go drinking. However, the Green Bay Packers do not know what good wide receiver play is. Yes, I understand you have Romeo drop Dobbs last season and Watson and Jalen Reed and who else you got? Christian something other. You guys have a nice little solid wide receiver core. However, the Packers wide receiver core did not break 600 yards last season per player. Stephon Diggs had 1,000 yards with 85 catches. So for him being washed, he nearly doubled every Packer receiver last season. So slow it down, baby. Slow it down on the whole washed concept. But I see what you're trying to say. You're trying to stir the pot and say that Stephon Diggs is washed. I don't know. Michael Underwood, 1971, says JD5 will be MVP as well. Man. Not only are the Washington Commanders going to win the Super Bowl this season, per Michael Underwood, not only is Jaden Daniels going to win comeback player of the year, per Michael Underwood, Jaden Daniels is going to win MVP as well. Michael, I need you to take a step back. Just take one step back, zoom out the lens just a little bit, right? Just zoom out the lens just a touch. Where did the Washington Commanders get better this offseason? I am not trying to dog the Washington Commanders. I do think Washington Commanders will be a much improved team. A healthy Jay Daniels is arguably going to be a 500 team or better easily. However, besides the addition of Stephon Diggs, where did they get better? I understand they got a little younger on defense, but did they get better? I don't think so. I don't think so. Yender says, how do we really know if Diggs is really a locker room cancer? We ain't there. Facts, Ganser. Old Man River just loves that word, locker room cancer. I believe he said that about, was it Jamar Chase you said that about? I can't remember. There was somebody that was also a locker room cancer, but Yenzer, you are absolutely right. We are not there. And I do not think Stephon Diggs is the locker room cancer. I think he makes people around him better, i.e. the New England Patriots offense last season. Drake May had top 10 NFL stats last season. Will he have that this season with A.J. Brown and Romeo Drop Dobbs and Raheem Stevenson? Probably not. Probably not. Anthony B27 says the QB play got better in Washington. To be determined. How will not RG3? How will Jaden Daniels come back from that injury? I mean, we seen that he hadn't put on any size. We see that he is moving well in training camp. For the highlights that I've seen, I've actually not sat down and watched their practice. I'll do that tonight after the show is over, so I can better educate myself about their offensive line protection. But we better see MVP level play from Jaden Daniels this season if they want to go to the Super Bowl. So I don't think the quarterback play got better. It just will be healthy. Michael Underwood says Diggs is a better run after catcher, better on the run after catch than Terry. This is a factual statement. Scary Terry is a very, very good receiver. You have to give credit where credit is due. I have him as a top 10 receiver projected to 2026. Matter of fact, I think I've had at number 6 or 7. I can't remember for sure. I'll have to go back and look. But Stephon Diggs is great in the short, intermediate passing game and those yards after catch. John People, Pigskin Pun, says RG3 syndrome.
Pigskin pun. Get you some.
Last year, yes, Jaden Daniels did have the RG3 syndrome because of Cliff Kingsbury. The offense was not ran very good with Cliff Kingsbury. Yenzer says, I'm not impressed with the Commanders' running back room. Guys, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't the Washington Commanders just pick up a running back in free agency? Let me look it up because I thought they picked somebody up that I was like, okay, I see that potentially happening. Rashad White from the Buccaneers, right? I think him and who was there starting? Crosby Merritt, right? Am I saying that name correct? They might have a nice little 1-2 punch. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be a Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery from last season 1-2 punch, but Rashad White, I thought was a pretty decent running back in Tampa, and he's going to add a little flavor to the mix as well. So now, am I saying they're a top 10 running back room? Absolutely not. But I'm saying they're above average. That is what I'm saying. That is what I'm saying. John Dorn says Kelsey is a locker room cancer. The troll aspect has failed tremendously because Travis Kelsey has been nothing but a model citizen in Kansas City. So good try, John. Come back next week. I don't know. Michael Underwood says we do as long as our center gets fully healthy, and Jaden will be under center this season like Caleb for the Bears. And look how that worked out. So being under center is a huge advantage in the NFL. I think a lot more teams need to utilize the under center aspect. However, Caleb Williams playing under center didn't. Caleb Williams got lucky a lot last season. Let's flash back to my Kansas City Chiefs 2 seasons ago, maybe 3 seasons ago. We were 11-0 in one-score games. The ball was bouncing the Kansas City Chiefs' way all year long. Last season, not so much. The ball bounced the other way. Caleb Williams got lucky a lot last season. Law of averages mean it's going to level out, meaning he's probably going to have a bad season. All those lucky drop back throws on his 1 foot it's not going to happen again this season. I think Jaden Daniels is a hell of a lot better than Caleb Williams. And I think Jaden Daniels will benefit a lot from being under center. From the highlights that I've seen, he looks very, very comfortable under there. But like I said, I need to go back and watch the tape on the offensive line to make a full assessment of what I think the offensive line could be. But if you're saying, Michael, that the center needs to get fully healthy, then you guys will be good. I will take your word for it. I will take your word for it because center is a very, very important position, especially when you're under center. Lily Frazier, 4586, says they got better on defense. They got better on offense. They got better everywhere. Yes, they got better, but no need to shout, Lily. No need to shout. Just slow it down, baby. Slow it down. Where they get better on defense? Let's throw some names on it. Where did they get better on defense? I'm not trying to be mean. I'm simply asking a question. I'm looking to gain that knowledge. In your eyes, Lily, Michael Underwood, rest of Commanders Nation, where did they get better on defense this offseason? I'm legitimately asking the question. I'm not trying to troll. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm simply asking the question. If you guys can put some names to it on defense, I'll be like, okay. They did this. They made this move to improve this position. We can have some merit to that conversation. And then on offense, Lily, yes, they added Stephon Diggs in the last, 9 hours or whatever it's been, 12 hours. But beyond that, and where else did they get better? Yes, they added some depth in the running back room. Rashad White, a great pickup. Are you saying that Treylon Brooks is going to be a difference maker this season? He was on the team last year, if I'm not mistaken, right? Like where Where, like, put some names on it. That is all I'm asking. I'm asking for some type of clarity to, like, gauge my thought process of when I watch films. Michael Underwood also says both sides of the ball got better. Once again, I'm simply asking the question. Put some names on it, please. Chase with the collection with the collectible says, "What the fuck is this guy talking about?" Well, you see, Chase, right here is a rundown. Right here. This is what we're talking about tonight. It's hard to do that on camera. This is our rundown. Every day here on the Man Hour, Monday through Thursday at 7 p.m. East Coast time, starting on Monday, we got a rundown right there. Boop. And right down there at the bottom, it literally says what we're talking about. This player right here, Stefon Diggs, is Washington bound. That's what we're talking about, Chase. Or Chance, I'm sorry. My bad. Drew says Diggs has always been very talented and able. He provides that plus veteran experience now. No matter what, he is an asset. I'm not saying Washington is going to be Super Bowl caliber, but they're definitely in the running if healthy. Drew, that is the best comment of the night so far. The Washington Commanders were going to be improved this season no matter what. Last year, they were a 5-6-win team. I think they were 5-12, 3-3 in the division, if I'm not mistaken. Just being healthy alone, that's 2, 3, potentially 4 more wins. So that is a 500 team by just being healthy. Adding Stefon Diggs will give it an extra win. So we're potentially looking at 9 wins, if not 10 wins for the Washington Commanders this season. Now, if Lily and Michael Underwood can say, you know what? This player on defense is going to free up Sonny Styles, right? To do this, and this, and then I'm all for it. We have seen this Washington Commanders team, this team, minus a few veterans on the defense, go to the NFC Championship game just a couple years ago. Did they fall off that much? No. But we do need to see Jaden Daniels come back from injury. I'm hoping that we see him in the preseason just a little bit, and we'll see what happens. Drew says, didn't we learn Daniels' rookie season? Do not underestimate them. You are correct, Drew. You are 100% correct. But, Drew, just like other teams out there that have not been successful in a very, very long time, i.e. the Chicago Bears, it is different from hunting teams and being the hunted. What do you mean by that, Buck? When you are being hunted, every team you play week in and week out, you are going to get their 100% max effort, all effort put into every single game. When you are the hunter, you can take some weeks off. We know we're going to get blown out by the Eagles, so let's just conserve ourselves and look forward to next week when we play the New York Jets. We got to play the 49ers this week. Let's just get out healthy. We don't really have it like have a chance. Whatever happens, right? But next week we got the Arizona Cardinals. Okay. That is the difference between hunted and hunter. And right now, the Commanders were the hunter year 1 when they went to the NFC Championship game. Year 2, they were the hunted. Granted, they were back to injuries, but now they're back to the hunter. Many people are going to overlook the Commanders this season. I really do believe that. Go back to some more comments here. Michael Underwood says offensive defensive coordinator got better. The offensive line and defensive edge rusher, tight end, corners, and safety. A true overhaul. Don't oversleep. Don't sleep on them. The offensive coordinator is a huge addition. I did not know that they changed defensive coordinators. I thought they kept the same coordinator, but old Dan Quinn was just taking over the play calling duties full time. So that is news to me. Who is their new defensive coordinator? I'm just curious to what his pedigree was. Was he just promoted from the Commanders, or is he underneath some coaching tree like a Kyle Shanahan type coaching tree or Brian Flores coaching tree. I'll just kind of be curious about that. Yenzer says the room looks decent. Maybe I'm being a little harsh, being the Washington Commanders running back room. I wouldn't say harsh. I would say being conservatively optimistic, right? Because last season, the running backs room for the Commanders were kind of blah, right? Rashad White was a good addition. And when you have a nice 1-2 punch, hopefully they use a 1-2 punch. I don't know if David Blount, the offensive coordinator, will actually do that. But they do have a little bit more depth this season. And is it being harsh? Potentially. But also, Yenzer, go out there and prove it, right? Go out there and prove it. John Peoples.
Pigskin pun. Get you some.
Guys, be like John Peoples and hit the membership tab right here at youtube.com/manhour. He said Jaden edges Caleb and starts this year too. Are you predicting that Caleb Williams gets injured? Like, is that what we're trying to say here? Because we don't wish injury here, bud. You know that. John, people say, so you saying these guys sandbag their play? Yeah. If you are a team that's not supposed to do well this season, i.e. the Chicago Bears last season, you will give teams that you know you are going to, or you're supposed to win, a better shot. Now, I'm not saying that you are going to go in there and try to lose a game versus the Green Bay Packers. I'm not saying that. However, in the back of your head, you're thinking, shit, right? And when you're the Green Bay Packers, you're thinking, oh, we can just overlook this team just a little bit. That's when those upsets happen. But yes, I would say bad teams do conserve their energy, right? Example, do we think the Arizona Cardinals are going to be a winning ball club this season? Quickly around the horn. No. Yeah, maybe 5-6 wins tops, right? With that being said, if who is their running back? Love, forgot his first name, from Notre Dame. Let's say Love plays one of the worst rush defenses in the NFL. I'm just throwing out a team up. Like, let's just say they play the Jets. I don't have their schedule in front of me by any of the stretch of the imagination, but let's just say they're playing the Tennessee Titans, one of the worst rush defenses in the NFL. Jeremiah Love, right? Jeremiah Love is going to give a hell of a lot more effort to get his bonuses against the Tennessee Titans versus, let's say, one of the best rush defenses in the NFL in the Cleveland Browns. Because you want to do healthy, you want to eat. So if you play the Cleveland Browns the week before and you look on their schedule, you see the Nashville or the Tennessee Titans. Yes, I'm going to conserve myself versus the Browns just a little bit, and then go balls to the wall versus the Titans. That's just what it is, right? There it is. Michael Underwood says Diggs, Williams, Sony Styles, Sig, Odife, I'm not saying that name right, Trenchton and Burks, Leo Chanel. I forgot you guys got Chanel. That was a good pickup. And then kicker Drew Stevens, Tim Settle, Will Harris. All players down the addition to the Commanders this season. I definitely forgot that you guys got Leo Chanel from my Kansas City Chiefs. Great pickup. Burks, I think, was on the team last year, but a full year in the system. Maybe we'll see. Sony Styles. Yeah. So this gives me some players to look at when I go watch their tape later tonight, I should say. Electro Restoration says, but let's not forget the Dallas Cowboys will beat Washington and win the division. Dallas Cowboys are Super Bowl bound, baby! Stir that pot, Electro Restorations. Welcome to the show, man. We have missed you. We have missed you all week, and hello to you, sir, as well. And John Peoples.
Pigskin pun. Get you some.
Says, drinking the Sterno, Electro. Listen. Root for your team, guys. It is the offseason. We absolutely love the offseason here at the Man Hour because we get to talk a lot of shit. However, when we do talk shit, we like to break it with some facts. And today is Wednesday, so that means one thing and one thing only. It is time for some cold, hard facts.
No sugar, no spice, no sweet disguise. The truth is a blade that cuts
What is up, man? Our nation, it's time for some cold, hard facts where we cut through all the fluff, talk all the bullshit with straight facts, homie. So right now here, guys, the cold, hard fact number one is simply put. Let's head back over to the NFC and let's talk about the Philadelphia Eagles. The cold, hard fact is this. Nolan Smith isn't sorry. He's simply sorry that he got caught. Look, guys, I know that sounds harsh. I know the Eagles fans are going to say, come on, Buck, he apologized. Yeah, after he got arrested. There's a difference between being sorry for what you did and being sorry because there are consequences. Guys, let me be very, very clear about something. Nolan Smith wasn't pulled over for doing 75 in a Sadie. He wasn't doing 85. Hell, he wasn't even doing 95. He was clocked at 135 miles an hour in a 70 mile per hour zone. This isn't a mistake. This isn't getting carried away for a second. That is a decision, a conscious decision. At 135 miles an hour, you are just not putting yourself at risk. You're putting everybody's family on the highway at risk. Now, Nolan did come out this week and he apologized. He said it was unacceptable. He said he apologized to Howie Roseman. He apologized to Jerry Lurie. He even apologized to the organization. Good, great, congratulations. That's exactly what he should have done. But let's stop acting like this apology magically reactivates what happened. If there wasn't a police officer there, if there wasn't an arrest, it would have never made ESPN. Are we going to hear an apology? Oh, hell no. And here's the part that bothers me the most. This isn't even his first driving-related incident. Back when he was at Georgia, he was cited for speeding and driving on a suspended license. So this isn't someone making a one isolated mistake. This is someone who has already been down this road before. And at some point, you stop saying he made a mistake. And you start saying he hasn't learned. Look, I'm not here to bury Nolan Smith. He's a heck of a football player. He helped the Eagles win the Super Bowl just a couple years ago. He's becoming one of the better young pass rushers in the NFL game. I hope he never has another innocent. But I truly hope that this changes him. But ask me to believe someone who has changed because they stood behind a microphone for two minutes. Show me driving responsibility. Stay out of the headlights. Go 3, 4, hell, maybe in 5 years without another speeding ticket. And then, just then, maybe I'll believe your apology. Because real accountability isn't words. It's changed behavior. But man, our nation, do you guys believe Nolan Smith is genuinely sorry? Or do you believe he's sorry because he got caught doing 135 mile an hour on the interstate? Because the cold hard fact is this. Real apologies aren't measured by press conferences. They're measured by what you do after the cameras leave. Right now, Nolan Smith has done all the right things, but now he has to prove them. And that is the cold hard fact.
No sugar, no spice, no sweetness, guys. The truth is a blade that cuts through lies.
All righty, man. Now, what do you think? What do you think? Is Nolan Smith sorry or not? And John Saderin's a pigskin pundit.
Pigskin pun. Get you some.
And he says, slow it down, baby. What is good, John? Hey, listen, John. I know that comment came before we started talking about the cold hard facts, but it was perfect. Slow it down, baby. Slow it down, B. John says the Eagles still win the division and New York Giants still have the wild card. Shut up. Shut up with that. And John People says, see Henry Ruggs. So, John, as a Raiders fan, was Henry Ruggs in trouble before his drunken driving incident? Because I never remember hearing anything wrong with him in like Alabama or before that one accident. I could be 100% wrong. My memory is not quite as sharp as it used to. I'm getting old. I turned 37 this year, so I'm getting a little long in the tooth. But I don't remember Henry Ruggs repeatedly getting speeding tickets. Now, Myles Garrett, on the other hand, was like 9 speeding tickets. Tell that man to slow down. Michael Underwood says Jerry Jones is the worst billionaire businessman in the league by paying others average quarterback $65 million an hour. How about your former quarterback bum-ass Tony Bono? Michael. My brother from another mother. I did not want to talk about the Dallas Cowboys today. I did not want to tell you how great of an owner Jerry Jones is. I did not want to tell you how great of a businessman Jerry Jones is right now. But this comment right here says Jerry Jones is the worst billionaire businessman in the league. Michael, let me ask you something here. Let me get up in my chair. Let me adjust my thoughts here. We good? We good? Yeah, we good, baby. The Dallas Cowboys are the richest team in all of American sports. The Dallas Cowboys, you can speak about them in the limelight and the hatreds or whatever you want. It's going to bring millions upon millions upon millions of views. Matter of fact, I have been on record, and I'll say this again right here for Man Hour Nation tonight. There are three types of fans out there. There are passionate fans about said team, Philadelphia Eagles, Washington Commanders, Michael. There are Cowboys fans, and then there's Cowboys haters. There are more Cowboys haters than there are actual fans of said team. There are more Cowboys fans more than Cowboys haters. Many people love to hate the Cowboys more than to root for their own team. Why? Because Jerry Jones is the best owner in the NFL, Michael. Jerry Jones single-handedly made the Dallas Cowboys from a net loss to $1 billion franchise. Merchandise, sales, the cheerleaders, he has done it all. Great owner. Now, a general manager, that's a different story. He is not a great general manager by any stretch of the imagination. Now, when Stephen Jones started to take over and do the drafting, right, the Dallas Cowboys started having a little bit more success. Jerry's butthole got a little pucker and said, let me draft. Cowboys went back down. However, you said he's the worst billion-dollar businessman. He's a great businessman. Sex sells, and the Dallas Cowboys are sexy, Michael. They're sexy. Because of Jerry Jones. Because of Jerry Jones. Electoral Restoration says, in Georgia, of all places, they chase your tail and won't give up. You just don't say it was unacceptable after 100 miles an hour. Electoral Restorations, haven't there been like 30 Georgia football players that have been cited for like speeding as well in the last like 5 years? I almost feel like this is like your initiation. If you're a Georgia defensive player going into the NFL, you got to get a speeding ticket going for over 120 miles an hour. That's kind of like your initiation. Michael says, John, stop drinking that Mad Dog 2020. Giants in the wild card. Shake my. Michael, once again, don't listen. I think the NFC East could easily have 4 teams in the NFL playoffs this year, or the NFC playoffs this season. The Giants are pretty good. The hardball effect is real deal. Electrovision says, tell no one about this Johnny Manziel, the story of Johnny Manziel. That man was a speeder and a party animal, last I remember. Yep. Not wrong. John People says, not a clue about Henry Ruggs III, but he did kill somebody. Yeah, he killed the girl and the dog, and people were more upset about the dog than the actual person, which is crazy to me, but we digress. Drew says, I'd rather slide down a razor into a pool of alcohol than to see them win the Super Bowl. Drew, who are you referring to? Are you referring to the Eagles or the Commanders or the Cowboys? Because either way, man, I'm gonna have to get that on a t-shirt. I'd rather slide down a razor into a pool of alcohol. That is tough. That is tough, Drew. What's up? Alexa Richard says, lucky for Johnny, he only got one. Knock on wood, I have never had a speeding ticket. So I don't know what it's like to get a speeding ticket. The only time I've been pulled over is when I came to a Y intersection and I did not use my blinker to go right. I got pulled over for that, and I thought my life was going to be over. John People says, and how has a team performed in the playoffs? John, when we're talking about Jerry Jones as the owner, still sells. Still sells. He's not a good general manager. I didn't say he was a good general manager. Great owner, though. Great owner. And Drew says that the Cowboys. I don't want to see the Cowgirls win the Super Bowl. Well, John, it's going to be a long 2026 and a long 27 season for you because they go to the Super Bowl, baby. They going. Michael Underwood says, I'm speaking on giving Dakota the bag. That's why he can't get better talent in other positions. When your cap is owned by a quarterback and the two receivers make it make sense. Michael Underwood and a top 5 quarterback in the NFL, like Dak Prescott is, was due a contract. When a top 5, top 10 quarterback, which is your franchise guy, which is due for a contract, 9 times out of 10, that contract will be the highest quarterback paid in the NFL. That is just the way it is. You can say the same thing about old Lamar Jackson. You can say the same thing about Joe Burrow. When Lamar Jackson's contract comes up in 2027, he will be making probably $70, $75, $80 million a season. Not because he's great, not because he has Super Bowl rings upon Super Bowl rings upon Super Bowl rings. It's because he's the next quarterback up due for a contract. That's just the way it is. Now, is Dak Prescott worth the $65 million? I'm going to have to say no. I'm going to have to say no because of the postseason success or the lack thereof the postseason success. However, in the regular season, he is a top 5 quarterback. Numbers do not lie. Numbers do not lie. Spencer Brown says, we got Stephon Diggs, baby! You did. You did, Spencer Brown. You did get Stephon Diggs, and you guys got pretty dangerous. Be honest. Electrorussian says, Jackson Dart ain't no Manning. New York Giant fans, you are exactly right. Jackson Dart will be good for, let's use the term good loosely. He'll be an average quarterback for about 4 or 5 years for the New York Giants. They will probably draft somebody in this year's draft class because it's so deep right in the quarterback room. And we'll go from there. And Michael Underwood says, slow it down. Michael Underwood says, Buck, you need to take a step back. You need to wide out the lens. And you just said Dak is a top 5 quarterback? Not. Michael Underwood, he is. Dak Prescott, per the stats, per the eye test, he passes all of it, and he is a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. John says, Michael isn't wrong. They put all their eggs in the offensive side of the basket. You are correct. I mean, like, I cannot dispute those facts, right? When 2 or 3 offensive players eat up 40% of your cap on one side of the ball, that definitely does affect the defensive side of the ball. I cannot dispute those facts. And the facts is that the Cowboys defense was not good last season. They were ranked 30th, right? Right, chair could roll. They were not a good defense last season. They were coming off of injuries. They were coming off of this, and this, but that's no excuse. Guys, the facts are you guys are correct. CeeDee Lamb, Dak Prescott, and now franchise tag of George Pickens is eating up 30 or 40% of the available cap space on three players. That is tough. Electra Richard says, old man OBJ won't save y'all another one-handed catch. Odell Beckham Jr. was very, very good for about 4 seasons. After that, mediocre at best. Spencer Brown says, Cowboys in serious trouble this year. No, they're not, Spencer. Spencer, I believe you are a Commanders fan because you just said we just got Diggs, right? The Cowboys are a hell of a lot better. They nailed this year's draft. Now, let me let me rephrase that. On paper, it looks like they nailed this year's draft. We will see what Caleb Downs does in the NFL. Will he have a long career or that degenerative bone disease shorten his career? We will see. We will see if Overshown is 100%. We will see if the other players can step up to the potential, right? Much like the Commanders receiving room was built on potential, right now the Cowboys defense is built on potential, and they could potentially be great. They could potentially be bad like they were last season. So, like, we will see. We will see, because their first game of the season is at New York, right? You play a pretty good team in the New York Giants. That's just... And John says, I'm saying Jared Goff is top 3 quarterback. He is. Stat-wise, in the regular season, Jared Goff is a top 3 quarterback in the NFL. Last year, he was number 4, right? Pretty damn good. Pretty damn good. Commanders fan indeed. Well, Spencer, welcome to the Man Hour, guys. We are live every Monday through Thursday at 7 p.m. East Coast time here. So, Electoration says, say it with me, folks. Let me get out my megaphone here for you, Electrostrations. Caleb Downs is a... Oh, dang it. There you go. Caleb Downs is a Dallas Cowboy. He's going to the moon, baby. You're right. He is a Dallas Cowboy. He is a Dallas Cowboys, guys, and it's time for some cold, hard facts. And cold, hard facts. Next up is number 2 is Xavier Legette. Am I saying that name right? But, guys, the cold, hard fact is this. Xavier needs to man the F up. How in the hell do you get carted off the field for a stinger? Like, bro, what? I watched the headline come across my phone and thought, please tell me something serious happened. And then I read it, a stinger. Xavier Legette, wide receiver for the Carolina Panthers, got carted off because of a stinger. Come on, man. When I saw the cart, I'm thinking broken neck, spinal injury, maybe a concussion, something major. Instead, Panthers head coach Dave Cannell's come out and says he had a stinger, not a concussion, and they're going to evaluate him over the next couple of days. A stinger. That is what we're calling the cart out for now? A stinger? Now, look. Before y'all go out there and twist my words, I'm not saying stingers don't hurt. They absolutely do. I got stingers all the time in high school and in college. Anybody who has played football has had one. Your arm goes numb, your shoulder burns, and sometimes you can't even feel your hands or feet for a few seconds. They're real injuries. But getting carted off? That is the part that I cannot get behind. This is the NFL. Guys play through broken fingers, separated shoulders, sprained ankles, dislocated fingers, and somehow we're bringing out the cart for a stinger. This is a bad look, Xavier. And here's why it bothers me even more. The Panthers are already thin at wide receiver. Matter of fact, the Panthers are thin everywhere. Bryce Young needs Xavier on the field. This offense needs him to take the next step. Instead, we're talking about him getting carted off and what coaches are calling a stinger. That is not the conversation you want surrounding one of your young receivers heading into the season. He's weak. He's a pussy. The NFL is about perception, fair or unfair. If you are known as a guy who is always available, coaches trust you, teammates trust you. If you're known as a guy who's consistently hurt or consistently leaving practice, people start to question whether you can even depend on you. That's the reality. Nobody is questioning his work ethic. Dave Cannell has even praised him, saying he is a tireless worker who takes coaching well and has continued to improve. Good. Now show that same toughness when adversity hits. When you get a stinger, like, shake it off, brother. But Man Our Nation, this is my question to you. Am I being too old school? Or do you also think getting carted off for a stinker it sends the wrong message? Because the cold hard fact is this: Xavier is too important for the Panthers to have his name trending because he got carted off with a stinger. If you're healthy enough to avoid a concussion and return in a few days, then it's time to show a little bit more toughness. The NFL is built on availability, and Carolina needs Xavier on the field, not on the back of the cart complaining about a stinker. Guys, subscribe, hit the like button, and remember, we're live Monday through Thursday at 7 p.m. East Coast time, right at youtube.com/manhour. Now, this is a live interactive show, so comment down below. Was the cart the right call, or do you think the NFL, this is another example of the NFL getting a little bit too cautious? A little bit too cautious. Electoration says Xavier did what? That's the first I'm hearing about this. I'm dead. Electricians, it actually happened yesterday. Yesterday's show got a little off the rails, and we went way off topic talking about dirty hits from Kirby Joseph. But yeah, on Tuesday, Xavier Legette got a stinger. If you guys know what a stinger is, basically you get hit on the shoulder just right. We used to call it a dead arm, right? You kind of shake it off like a little bit, and sometimes it goes down into your butt and like it cramps up like your like butt. But yeah, stinger. Man got carted off. We all thought he was dying. And we're laughing at Michael's comment. What did Michael say? There it is. It says Dallas fans are the worst to convince about their team because they're thinking Colt like Dallas can't even through a playoff if Jerry paid for it. That's the problem, though, Michael. Jerry has paid for us to get through the playoffs, and we still kind of just fall on the butt. that stuff. Electrician says, "Oh, trust Michael. I will even tell you your defense was garbage last year, but I get so much joy from watching y'all react to my optimism and stir the pot." It is optimism off season, guys. It is optimism off season, and we do got a couple more of cold hard facts. The next cold hard fact on the docket today is the cold hard fact is this: Eric Bieniemy needs to take time, and he needs to heal fully. Because simply put, guys, football can wait. The Kansas City Chiefs can wait. Training camp can wait. Hell, the regular season can wait. Because some things are bigger than football. We spend so much time here on the Man Hour talking about wins, talking about losses, play callings, quarterback Super Bowls. But sometimes life reminds us that football isn't the most important thing. Eric Bieniemy is dealing with something that no husband, hell, no father should ever have to experience. His wife was shot by their son. Just saying those words out loud doesn't even seem real. Forget the football aspect for a second. Imagine getting a phone call. Imagine trying to process all of that. And one of the things that I respect most about Andy Reid and the Kansas City Chiefs of how they handle this. He didn't talk to Eric Bieniemy about offensive installs. He didn't talk about missing practice times. He didn't even ask Eric when he would be back. He simply said Eric needs to take care of his family first. That is leadership. That's what great organization do. The Chiefs have made it crystal clear. Eric Bieniemy will return when Eric Bieniemy is ready, not when the football says so. Let's be 100% honest, guys. The Kansas City Chiefs will be fine this season. Patrick Mahomes knows the offense. Andy Reid knows the offense better than anybody. The coaching staff has picked up all the extra work. Training camp keeps moving. Football doesn't stop. But Eric Bieniemy only gets one opportunity to be there for his wife and his family during the hardest moment of their entire lives. You do not get these moments back. I keep seeing the same question. When is Eric Bieniemy coming back? That is the wrong question. The question should be, how is his family doing? The good news is Andy Reid said Mia Bieniemy has continued to improve and is out of ICU. That to me matters. Not whether Eric is calling the plays in August. Not whether he's standing in on the practice field. His family needs him. That's where he belongs. Sports have a funny way of making us think everything is urgent. A missed practice, a missed preseason game, depth chart. None of that matters compared to what Eric Bieniemy is dealing with right now. The Chiefs can replace the offensive coordinator for a few weeks. A family cannot replace a husband. A wife recovering from something this traumatic needs his support system. And that's exactly where Eric should be. So, guys, let me ask you this, Man Our Nation. If you were in Eric Bieniemy's shoes, would football even cross your mind right now? Because the cold hard fact is this. Eric Bieniemy doesn't owe the Chiefs an explanation. He doesn't owe the fans a timetable. He needs to take every single day he is needed because family will always be bigger than football. Guys, subscribe. Hit the like button. Remember, we're live Monday through Thursday at 7 p.m. East Coast time right here at YouTube.com. Until then, guys, we are out.
Hey, now it's time to take off. Gotta keep it live and raw. Better stay tuned in. Man, now we're in NFL talk. I know that you ready for more. They on the field, ready for war. Who's in the lead? I'm checking the score. We about to do it like never before. NFL live, uncut, raw. This is Man Hour NFL talk. Let's go.
Yes, Joe, we are still live, but we're ending the show now. Casey can lick my nuts. Get out of here. Get out of here. Have a good night, guys.